Hello and welcome. Today our guest is Pirjo Jantunen. She is a professional in social responsibility and she is currently working in the energy sector in Helen. She is also a chair of Future Energy Leaderboard in the World Energy Council. She has studied sustainable development and cooperative environmental management, and she is specialized in energy issues, environmental and responsibility communication, and stakeholder involvement. It's great to have her here today with us. Hello Pirjo, it's great to have you here today. You're an expert in energy efficiency and I actually have a few questions that I would want to ask. So growing up, my parents always told me to turn off the lights when I leave a room. Is that what energy efficiency is about, and does it really matter if I turn off the lights?
Well, your parents were right. Sorry to say that. But it's not what I think energy efficiency is about. It decreases your energy consumption if you turn off the lights. But energy efficiency is more changing your convenient light bulbs to LED lights. So when you have lights on, they consume less compared to the other lights. But still, even you have lights which are not using that much energy, it's wise to shut them off when you are not in a room.
Okay, so if I would have a friend who's, let's say, 20-year-old, and he's studying, he's not making so much money, and he wants to live a more energy efficient lifestyle, what are some of the things that he could do to save energy?
Well, basically your friend couldn't maybe change the fridge or the heating system of the apartment. He could change the light bulbs, and also, of course, he or she could change the way he's acting. So, for example, in Finland, the main thing where we consume energy at home is heating. And it's like half of the energy we consume. In warmer countries, cooling might be the biggest one. The second thing is warm water. So for your friend, shorter showers, decrease room temperature, and then shut down lights and other appliances when they are not used.
Okay, so in the end, turning off the lights is only a very small proportion of the whole picture.
Exactly.
Okay, great. So how big of a role do individuals play in this whole energy efficiency and energy consumption? Is it more of something that individuals should pay attention to, or should it be something that happens on an industrial level or political level, for instance, how buildings are built? What's the thing that has the biggest effect?
Well, I think governments have the biggest effect, I would say. We already have a lot of restrictions how we can build a house, or if you are making fridges, what kind of fridge you can sell. They have to be really energy efficient nowadays compared to what it was 10 or 20 years ago. So when you as an individual go and buy new fridge, you have a selection, and some of them consume more energy and some less, but still government has already, or in case of EU has already restricted the amount of selection so that you can't make that bad choices you might do accidentally if you're not that much aware.
So the government puts guidelines on what kind of fridges we can buy.
Yeah.
Okay, so regarding technology, you mentioned fridges, but is there some other ways that technology improvement is critical for future energy efficiency?
Well, I think if we talk about energy efficiency, it's not all about technology, but it's the biggest thing in there. And there are already a lot of things what could be done in a more energy efficient way, but are not done.
Could you give some examples?
Well, we could, for example, build more energy efficient houses or plan the cities so that they are more energy efficient, because the technological solutions are already there, but then world is quite complicated and we are not just staring energy efficiency. There's a lot of other things to do as well. So there is still room for improvement.
Okay, so you mentioned city planning. Can you give some concrete examples on what it would look on a city level on how to increase energy efficiency?
Well, one thing is, it's not all about energy efficiency, but how the city is planned. How far away is my home from my working place? So that affects how much we have to travel. That's kind of energy efficiency on city level. Another thing is how we plan the houses. Are they just houses, one house here and there, where cold wind can blow. If we think here up north, they are not that energy efficient. But when there's a block which is closed, it needs less heating than if the houses are individual here and there.
All right. So when we look at energy efficiency on a global level, of course, the conditions in Finland are quite different than from, let's say, in Spain. So what are some of the key factors in a cold climate and a warm climate, how energy efficiency could be increased?
Well, up north, it's heating, where we consume the most of the energy, if we think house living and houses. And then in south, it's cooling. So heating and cooling are the ones where the key focus should be.
Okay, and I know that in Finland we have a combined energy production where energy is produced, also that heat, rather than putting it to waste, it's used to heat up buildings and so forth. But if I've understood correctly, this is quite unique for Finland and maybe some of the other Nordic countries. Is this the case, or why is this not used more abroad?
Yeah. Well, in Finland and also other northern countries, combined heat and power production is really common, and the energy efficiency is like 90% around. So 90% of the energy we get to the power plant in form natural gas, for example, is turned into heat and power. But then if we use kind of more maybe not traditional but condensing solutions, then we just make electricity and heat is waste. And this is used in many other countries in Central Europe, but also in Asia as well. And there's like 50% possibility to increase energy efficiency 50% if we use this combined solution. But of course, building district heating system under existing city is not that easy. Imagine that you had to dig all the streets in Paris and build heating pipelines there. It would be a total mess because in Helsinki we have been building the system 50 years, little by little. And also the investments are quite expensive. But then in some other countries like in Central Europe or even more south, they still need quite a lot of heating. So district heating and combined heat and power production, they have enormous potential in increasing energy efficiency.
So it really requires a look into the future when planning a new city, and I guess it requires from starting almost from scratch when planning a city to really think of how the energy will be produced.
Yeah, exactly. And basically we are not building city from scratch.
Exactly.
They exist there already, so we have to start from one area, build it there, and maybe expand it little by little.
Great. Thank you very much. I'm really interested in looking forward to hearing your presentation. It was a very interesting interview.